When you're real for real, then you don't have to say it. Have you ever noticed how it's almost always the people who are the worst athletes, or who don't have a healthy relationship, or who don't have a lot going for them?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And who aren't secure with who they really are? How it's those people who are the ones who will constantly feel the need to tell you how great they are, where everything comes across as a brag or a flex.
I've been working out, I'm huge.
Or these same people will post about their relationship every day and try to tell you how happy they are, even when you can truly sense that they're not as happy as it seems. And I think it's because they don't actually believe it themselves. So they actually want you to believe it, but really they're lying to you and to themselves. When you're real and authentic and comfortable in your own skin, and comfortable in your relationship, comfortable with your own career, comfortable with your own personality, you can just be yourself totally authentically and don't have this need to constantly tell the world because it just becomes self-evident. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking more about this concept of being comfortable in who you are and not feeling this need to prove yourself to anyone, as well as why being the person who constantly brags about yourself is actually one of the biggest turnoffs. So without further ado, let's dive deeper now.
Give me a...
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Jared and James channel. I'm Jared Weiss. If you guys know that must mean you're not subscribed to the channel, so you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts on this video. Follow me on every platform, and if you guys have done so already, make sure to check out my book, Fight Through It by Jared Weiss. All links purchased are on my website, which is jaredbryanweiss.com. That's JAREDRYANWEISS.com. Buy the book, support me. As always, any support is very much appreciated. So, let's dive deeper now. So to start things off, this video was actually inspired by the Wale lyric in the song Legendary, which goes, "When you're real for real, then you don't have to say it. It's something to be great, it's nothing to be famous." And this line got me thinking, just to reiterate, how the people who are least secure in who they are, or with their relationship, or with their job, or whatever it is, those are the ones who often have the most to say, or most to brag about, but yet these people breathe inauthenticity. And you can actually sense this just by being around them.
It's so phony.
It's like the same people who are talking about how many followers they have, how much better they are than you, and I'm not talking about fun trash talking like in the NBA game, or by flexing in a rap song, or by saying your own positive affirmations daily. But when you're always telling this stuff to others, that's when it becomes super off-putting and unattractive. And of course, to be clear, there is a time and place for a subtle flex. So I'm not saying you can never strut your stuff,
Flapping his wings and strutting his stuff. He was pecking and weaving and bobbing and talking trash.
but when you can't go a single conversation without talking about yourself, or how great you are, or how great your relationship is, that's when it becomes problematic.
You got a little problem.
I got a big problem, Jerry.
So it's the ones who you know are totally inauthentic and aren't who they say they are.
Do you know who that guy is? Dude, I don't even know who I am.
They're going to be the ones who will always feel the need to tell you about all these great big lies. But when you're real for real, you don't have to say it once again. Now, if you were that secure in who you are and what you're doing, think about it. Honestly, would you really feel the need to constantly tell everyone about it? Or would it just be known? Now, once again, to be clear, there's nothing wrong with celebrating your accomplishments, or celebrating your small wins, or posting about a healthy relationship that you have. But when you do those things an unhealthy amount of times, and it clearly turns into a, what are you trying to prove to us? Or to the world, most of the times, these people are actually just projecting their fear that they aren't what they say they are, and they just want to convince you that everything is great because in doing this, maybe they can actually get themselves to believe these lies.
That makes sense to me.
And it's like thinking back to high school. The kids who always felt the need to tell me how good they were at basketball, or would always talk about how many friends they have. Was that ever really the case?
Can you shoot? Can a butterfly sing?
And you could talk about your achievements without coming across as a total braggart or a snob. There's a difference between that versus telling people a different story from your actual truth. Authenticity and being genuine is valuable because it's in such short supply these days. And think about this. Is it typically the guy who tells you how great they are? Is that usually the best one on the team? Or is it the one who doesn't have to say it because it's just known? Or is it the one who tells you how much money they have? Are they usually the happiest and most successful in life? Or is it the one who you can see by how they act and how they treat people? How they treat others? And this is also the difference between cockiness and confidence. Cockiness often comes across as desperation, and desperately feeling the need to tell everyone this, versus genuine confidence because it's just the truth. Now another one of my all-time favorite song lyrics is coming from the Eminem and Lil Wayne song, No Love. So the line I'm referring to is when Eminem says, when you're so good that you can't say it because it's not even cool for you to sound cocky anymore. So it's like, once you becoming the best at whatever it is that you're doing becomes self-evident, and starts to get this recognition for it, it actually comes across as weak for you to keep telling everyone how good you are. And there's definitely a fine line between confidence and arrogance or cockiness. Cockiness is a very unattractive quality because you start to view yourself as like above everyone else and often aren't humble enough to admit when maybe you got something wrong, or maybe it's time to make a change or an adjustment and improve on that. But you become so caught up in your own power and seeing yourself as like above everyone else that you can't even make that change. Or it's like these people will talk down to you.
Hello, peasants.
And try to tell you why you're inadequate or why you need to be doing what this person claims to be doing. These people also tend to be very self-righteous and always tell you about like how good of a person they are too. But it's like with me, for instance. I of course view myself as like a very kind, good-hearted person.
You're a good person.
And these are things like I pride myself on. But yet, I don't go around asking people for compliments or for people to tell me how great I am, because it's my hope that like in being myself and exuding these qualities, these things will be felt and known. And this is why so often, after someone gets to know me, even for just like a few months, or sometimes even just like a few weeks, I'll hear them saying to someone else that I'm the nicest person they know, or how I'm the most down-to-earth person they know. And this, I know how ironic it is, of course, because I'm trying to tell you guys how I'm not talking about it while I'm talking about it. But of course, the point I'm making here is that you don't have to tell everyone how great you are. You don't have to brag to others, just be your best self, try your hardest, and these things will just like become known, because authenticity is extremely attractive, while insecurity is not. And next, what I want to share with you guys, so like I was actually able to find like a super old email coming from Taylor Allen's mailing list, one of my former favorite online basketball training programs. So the part in the email that I want to bring up says, a few months ago, our EGC team was out at a barbecue joint in Berlin, Germany. The guy who ran the place seemed nice enough, but for whatever reason, wouldn't stop telling us how bad, I don't like to curse personally, but like how hardcore he was.
You're badass.
Showing us his tattoos, pulling out knives, so like I'm gonna change the word to hardcore. Call me weird, but like 99% of the time, I'm not a fan of cursing. So wouldn't stop telling us how hardcore he was. Showing us his tattoos, pulling out knives that look like swords to cut our meat, drinking whiskey straight from the bottle, and generally acting like a moron anytime we came around our table. Maybe it's because he was barely a shade over 5'6", while everybody at our table cleared 6'2". Just to be clear, I'm 5'6", so don't be hating on the short guys. But it got me to thinking, have you ever met a real genuine hardcore person who had to tell you how hardcore he was? Come to think of it, have you ever met a real genuine bad, who even used the word bad? Or have you ever met a real genuine hardcore person who even used the word? Alright, well like, in that case I couldn't really change the word.
You're badass.
But like, my guess is you knew exactly how bad they were the moment you met them. And it wasn't because they were hacking away at a piece of meat with a freaking 3-foot sword.
I see a badass mother who don't take no crap of nobody.
Like a wise man named Eminem once said, you get so good that you can't even say it because it ain't even cool for you to sound cocky anymore. When you've got it, you don't need to flex it. They'll know you've got it the moment they see you. Very well said, Taylor Allen. And to tie up some loose ends, and to close off this topic, this also comes down to something that like I think all of us struggle with, which is at times feeling like you're not enough.
You are enough like you are, and that's why God created you.
Or feeling like you have to constantly prove yourself to others and to the world. Now, as I've spoken about in this video, some people will act this out in insecure ways by bragging or constantly telling everyone how great they are, how much money they have, etc. While some of us might struggle with this more internally at a deeper or subconscious level. But I want to tell you that like, as I have to remind myself constantly, you don't have to prove yourself to anyone but you. As long as I love me, and as long as I can stare at the mirror and love and be proud of the person looking back, that should be and is enough for me. And the right people, the ones who truly matter, are going to value that person as well. But if you get caught up in trying to prove yourself to others, and especially to the wrong people, you lose yourself in the process, and actually make people hate you.
What were her exact
I don't
words?
like him.
Well, now I hate you.
Which is actually going to sound counterintuitive to some people. Because if you think that like, people won't like you because you don't have enough, you're trying to prove yourself to them, when really the issue is, you're not comfortable in your own skin, and you haven't valued yourself enough, so you constantly try to tell them how good you are, but they become uneasy and turned off by this behavior, so they're actually going to distance themselves from you. But remember, Authenticity and staying true to yourself, working hard on what you love, and just being someone who genuinely cares about others, that's what really gets valued at the end of the day. So we need to get away from this whole trying to prove ourselves to others, trying to prove ourselves to the wrong people, and acting like we're not enough, even if we're saying the total opposite, because it doesn't come across as cool.
I'm cool.
Only the most shallow people are actually going to care about that stuff, and at the end of the day, you're actually going to be the one who feels more inadequate after doing all that talking. So anyways guys, I hope like this message resonates with you. I hope that you guys could be more comfortable being your true selves, not feeling the need to constantly tell everyone how great you are. If you guys know anyone like this, be sure to comment that down below. Maybe even try sharing this video with someone like that. Anyways, make sure to subscribe to the channel, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment. I will catch you guys next time. Much love. Stay positive, stay hustling, be genuine, be authentic. I will catch you guys next time. Peace.